Hey everyone, so we are back again with another reading, and this one is all about their feelings for you versus a third party. So, this is great if your person has at any point in time been dating someone else. Maybe they were with someone earlier, or they've moved on to someone else, or you're in separation and they're dating around. But anytime you're worried about the comparison between you and another person, this is a great reading to go to. We're going to find out about their feelings for you and their feelings for the other person and compare and contrast what they're thinking, feeling for both of you. So I'm really excited for this one. I feel like we're going to get a lot of interesting stuff. And today we do have a traditional pick a card format for you guys. So if a card is already sticking out to you, you can definitely feel free to jump ahead to that. But I'm going to show you guys the numbers as well. So we have pile number 1 right here, pile number 2, pile number 3, and number 4. So if you need more time, you can feel free to rewind, pause, take as much time as you need. And I do want to mention, since I do try to kill a little time on this and stretch it out a little bit longer, that I do have my Patreon, and the link is in my bio for that. So if you want to join the party over there, we have a bunch of interesting readings and new ones going up all the time. So if you want more of me, that's where you can find it. So with that being said, I am really excited to get into this reading. So let's jump into pile 1. Everyone, so we are going to do today's reading a little bit differently. First, I'm going to read the energy for your person's feelings towards you, and then your person's feelings towards the third party. So two separate tarot spreads, and then we have your pick a card. So your person's message to you is everyone is on their own journey. And then let's get straight into the tarot. So we do have the Two of Swords, Ace of Wands reversed, and the King of Wands for your person's feelings for you. And for their person, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Swords reversed, and Eight of Swords. So I can see that your person's feelings for you, there's a lot of sexual desire here, first of all, with the Ace of Pentacles coming out reversed, or excuse me, the Ace of Wands, and then the King of Wands. So they had a lot of desire for you, but not only that, there's a lot of their emotions coming through as well with the Two of Cups. I can see with the Ten of Swords that they were very heartbroken by this loss. It feels like, I almost feel like there was a sense of them being in a little bit of denial at first, like they didn't think you were going to leave or something like that. I don't know if there was a third party with your situation as well, like maybe you went off with someone else or something like that, but it's almost like they didn't think you were going to leave or you weren't going to finally put an end to things. I feel like this person might have even been in some dysfunctional behavior. We can see that scene on the Eight of Wands where this person is sleeping in way too long, and maybe there was a sense of them not living up to their potential. Maybe they were playing video games too much, or maybe they were even doing illegal substances or drinking too much or something, or just sleeping in and not working hard, something like that. But it definitely feels like they weren't fully aware that you were going to put your foot down. And I am seeing with the Eight of Swords over for their feelings for their person, I almost feel like this was a decision they made that they didn't fully think through. One of the meanings of the Eight of Swords can be someone who is not seeing a situation clearly and not really taking in all the facts. And I do see with the Page of Cups coming out as well that this person might have been very emotionally overwrought and just seeking out kind of like a solution. Page of Cups can be seeking out immature, emotional kind of soothing. You know what I mean? Like it's not high level, being very aware of your emotions. It's kind of like an impetuous young energy of like, I'm just going to do this to feel better. And I almost feel like this was a decision that your person made of like just running away from their deep feelings for you and heading into this self-soothing energy of like, this will make me feel better in the moment. I also feel like there may have been a financial element at play. Either this person is able to feel wealthy because like their partner looks up to them as being wealthy. Like maybe they make a certain amount of money that wouldn't be a big deal for you, or they're from a background or some kind of culture, or I don't know, family or something that isn't like, you're not like blown away by it. You're not like so impressed, but the partner they're with is so impressed. And I feel like that meant a lot to them because they wanted to feel powerful in their relationship with you. I feel like that was something that they really were hoping for with you, was like to feel powerful. We got the King of Wands with you, but they didn't really feel that way fully. Like they always felt like you brought a lot to the table, so they couldn't be kind of this star king energy. But now in this relationship, they can feel that way. I also feel like there might be a dynamic of the third party actually paying for them and actually giving them some money, something like that. So it may be that there's that, financial benefit they're getting from this relationship. But with the Five of Swords, I really feel like they were trying to send you a message, and they were trying to let you know that they had moved on. Like they wanted to make it clear to you. They wanted to be very obvious. Their emotions were more invested in you. We got the Two of Cups for you. So they were very emotionally tied in. That can be a soulmate card that can talk about two people sharing emotions and being very emotionally close. And I do feel like there was something with them wanting to send you this message, wanting to let you know, kind of like, hey, I am moved on and I am desirable. I also feel like, with the Nine of Wands reverse, it's like they wanted you to see them as someone that, you had to fight for, or like they're being competition for you. Like I feel like you guys are very attractive. You have your head screwed on straight as well. That's another major thing coming through for you, is you guys are very smart, logical, and I feel like you kind of encourage them to make some changes in their life. Like you could improve like this, or you could do this better, or something like that. Or they see you as like someone who has their life together and who has a strong mind, and who is logical, and who is like smart and mature and stuff like that. And I do feel that this person was like, I want them to see me as a prize. I don't just want to be this loser. Like it's almost like they felt like a loser around you. You know what I mean? Because you guys are so on point. And so they wanted to flee for someone who would actually look up to them. So there is this shift in power dynamic where before with you, they always felt like they were on the back foot. And I feel like a lot of this was because they were so drawn to you. They were so turned on by you. We did get the Ace of Wands reverse and the King of Wands. With the Ace of Wands reverse, I'm feeling like for some of you guys, this never actually manifested into a sexual relationship. It may have just been something that they, honestly, I mean, I can't get too into it because we do have these content rules for YouTube, but where maybe they spend a lot of time alone thinking of you, and it was more that, less actually like two people sexually coming together, and more one person having some sexual thoughts on their own time, if you get what I'm trying to I was going to say beat around the bush, but that's not the word either. That might get me in trouble too, but you know what I mean. They are kind of spending a lot of time thinking about you. So let's get more cards. So for their feelings towards you, they see you as the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, which has a picture of a monk on it. And for their feelings or how they view the other party, it is the word Lord. Communication, praise, dishonesty. So they see you as very spiritual, and I'm not surprised because you guys did get the Two of Cups. There is this spiritual component to your connection. And I do feel like with the Ten of Swords as well, you guys might connect during your sleep and stuff like that. But with the Word Lord coming out, and it's right by that reversed Five of Swords, I do feel like there is this aspect of dishonesty, trying to send a message to you by being with this other person. So they wanted you to see that they've moved on. They wanted you to be aware of the fact that like they're dating someone else. This is something that really matters to them, because it feels like they never got to feel like they were fully desirable in their relationship with you. They never got to feel fully like you were like in awe of them in the way they wanted. They wanted to get that like approval from you that I don't feel like they ever fully got. So it's like they're moving on to this other person, and they're trying and hoping you get the message. Like I almost feel like they might post on their social media or something, hoping you'll see it, thinking like, how is this person going to react? They'll love this post. Oh, they're going to think this if I post this. So there's a lot of consideration of your feelings about this, and what you're going to say, your opinion of things. I mean, they really do put you in like a high place, and we got the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. There's a lot of respect for your spiritual side, and that's kind of the energy that I'm getting at with you guys, is you're very smart, intelligent, but not just smart, but like a nerd, but not spiritually smart. You're very spiritually mature. So they look up to you. They see you as above them in some way, in that sense. I think especially spiritually. I don't know if like you guys were into crystals and astrology and like spiritual stuff, and they weren't, and they were just totally not into that. But it's like they're bringing up some component of your spirituality, spiritual power you have, like respect they have for you in that sense. So I feel like this person is just a lot easier for them to deal with. Like I said, they're not as spiritually mature, and they don't put those same limits on them, because I don't feel like this person makes the same demands of like, you need to act this way, or I conduct myself. And like, there's a lot of dignity around you guys. That's coming through really strong. Dignity. You guys are very dignified, and you conduct yourselves in a way that people look up to and respect. I don't know if all of you guys are aware of it. And obviously we're not doing another reading right now. We're trying to focus on task and on topic, but I do get that a lot of people look up to you. A lot of people respect what you guys have going on. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. If you guys are aware of how many people look up to you and see you as a smart, intelligent, wise type of person. And I just feel like this person, it's almost like they got sick of the judgment, so they ran and they fleed to someone who would not be so hard to please, almost like hard to get respect from, because you guys are doing so much and you guys do such a great job at things that they needed to go with someone who was just a lot easier to deal with. And again, kind of not the best, most honest way of behaving. So for you guys got talent, and for the third party, they got home. And really, the home card is what I'm getting at. This person is a lot easier to deal with. It kind of feels like home. You know how when you get home and you just like, maybe you've had a hard day, and when you're out in public, you have to like sit up straight. And if you're a girl, you got to wear a bra, and you've got to have your nice outfit on. You got to put on like some makeup. Or if you're a guy, I don't know what the guy equivalent is. I'm not a guy, but it's like you can't fully relax. And then we all know that feeling of like, you come home, if you're a girl, you take your bra off and you're like, oh, the best feeling, and you just can loosen up and be yourself. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to push yourself. You can just chill on the couch. You could, wear your old ratty pajamas or whatever that is. And that's how this person feels. This person is like ratty pajama energy. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but like third party situation, like they don't have to be up on a pedestal. They don't have to be trying so hard with you. You guys are the talent. And honestly, I've mentioned it a couple times. The star is what I'm getting. And that talent card always reminds me of the star. In tarot, like I don't know why in this deck it just always brings to my mind the star card. And so I feel like you guys are just talented. A lot of people pay attention to you, and again with this energy of like, I've got to be on point, I've got to make everything right, I've got to act a certain way. And then when they're with this third party, it's just easy. It's not, they don't have to try, they don't have to push themselves. So yeah, you guys are someone they really look up to. And I feel like this person might have fled the relationship. They might have run off, and you might have been like, what the heck happened? Like, you never got closure, or you never got that conversation from them of like, I did this, because it's like they didn't want to give you that. In a way, I think they're hoping you'll stay still attached to them and you won't move on, and you guys will continue this spiritual connection and spiritual relationship. And I feel like there was a lot of shame on their part as well. Like they were never capable of fully stepping up to the plate for you in the way you wanted. And so I feel like it's like they know, their higher self knows that they didn't fully act right, and that they ran away from, what could have been really amazing, and they ran into something that was a lot easier. So I just feel like there's something with you guys where you should know that even though this person didn't give you the respect or the closure you fully deserve, you deserve so much better, and you will have so much better. But this person was very drawn to you. It's almost like they might have commitment issues or fear of commitment of some kind, because it feels like they ran off because they were scared of the intensity of their emotions for you. So I feel like a lot of you guys might need to hear that, because there is this deep sense of like, why did they leave, or being confused and not understanding it. And I think you should know that it's not because they didn't care, it's because they were very overwhelmed by the emotionality here. And so how they see you versus the third party is, the third party is very easy. The third party makes them feel good. The third party pays for them. The third party makes stuff happen without them having to try. The third party feels like so lucky that they get to be with them every day. And honestly, I feel like that's because this third party just isn't bringing as much to the table as you. I feel like you guys are like a once in a lifetime star energy. Like you guys really are this shining star in the sky that so many people would love to be with. But when you're with a star, like you got to step up your game. Like if you're taking out like Megan Fox on a date, you're not going to take her out to the local Applebee's and ask her to get the $5 special. You know what I mean? And that was you guys. And they want to be with someone who accepts this $5 special. No offense to Applebee's. I have nothing against the place. I don't know why it comes up in my readings. I'm not trying to attack Applebee's, but I'm just saying, like, if you were with a star, or if you got a date, if you're a girl with like Zac Efron, you would be wearing your nicest, perfume and like lingerie underneath, and you would be getting everything on point. And if you're a masculine and you were going out with like Angelina Jolie or something, I don't know, whoever you like on a date, you would be dressing up and taking her out and spending all the money in your bank account and trying to make it perfect. And so understand that people don't always leave because they're not interested. They leave because it's too much for them. So you also got, for the energy for you, round and round. And then for the energy of your person, this third party, yin. So for you guys with round and round, I can see that these emotions have not gone away from your person. They still feel this way. And it almost feels like some of y'all have tried to put up boundaries or barriers on the astral plane to kind of put some distance between you guys, because you're like, you need to stop connecting with me on the astral plane. Like, haven't you moved on? Aren't you with this third party? But no, they're still thinking of you and they're still connected to you. And like I mentioned, again, not trying to go against YouTube, but they're spending a lot of time thinking of you in a sexual way. And so, you can fill in the blank for that. But like, maybe even when they're with this third party, they're thinking of you. So I don't know. I have more stuff like that if you want to go into more detail on my Patreon, so you can check out those readings that I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, so can't get too much into it. With yin energy, this third party is very kind of sweet, receptive, feminine. Like, honestly, I feel like this third party is just like kind of a sweetheart, but it's like a distorted type energy because they're not actually supporting someone who's living in their highest version of themselves. They're kind of putting a blind eye on of like, oh, it's fine, everything's fine. Yin energy is generally very supportive, very loving, very sweet and open, and that's great when a situation calls for it. But when someone's acting crazy and you're like, oh, that's okay, don't worry about it, yeah, you just robbed a bank, oh, I love that, oh, good job, then that's a problem. And I feel like this person, this third party, if they were actually acting in their highest version of themselves, they would actually put their foot down with this person and help correct some of their problems that they have and help push them in the right direction the way you guys try to do. So it's funny because they're with this third party because it makes it easier, but they're thinking of you and they're still connected to you, and it's going round and round and it's never ending. So they technically have sought out what's easier, but at the end of the day, their soul is craving this much deeper connection that you guys had. And the way you guys would sometimes put your foot down with them, I feel like they were actually very attracted to that. A lot of people are drawn because you guys do have this dignity where you're at a higher version of yourself. You guys have this strong destiny, I feel, and you're a lot more spiritually advanced. So they're kind of terrified of it, but they're also running towards it. And yeah, I just feel like it's almost like this person also wanted to save face with friends, is what I'm getting. I'm getting a message that I don't know if everyone saw, like after the breakup, they were running around looking horrible, or I don't know if like all their friends were like, oh my God, dude, like you have not seemed the same since the breakup, and like what is wrong? But I feel like there is this strong vibe of them trying to save face and them being very concerned of like what other people think. And I think that's why they ran off with this third party, is because again, they want to send a message to the world of like, no, I'm happy, I've moved on, I don't even care, I'm not interested. But the truth is that their feelings are still very much centered around you and on you. And that's not going to end anytime soon with the round and round. It feels like this person is kind of in the same energy too, not really progressing that much and not really moving forward that much, and still thinking of you a lot. But I definitely feel like their friends were talking about you and their friends were aware of you in some way, and like their friends were also aware of like, wow, you've been so upset ever since she left, or what did she say? Wait, I thought you were going to ask her out on a date. Wait, how did that go? Why have you been down in the dumps all week? Like, so people around them knew, even though, and I think that was a main reason why they felt the need to save face, is it was like, I'm so embarrassed that everyone saw me get rejected kind of vibe. So I think they needed to find someone to kind of throw in the mix and like get this impression out, kind of like a PR move, how celebrities will sometimes like they'll get in trouble for something, in the next month they're out there doing like, community service, randomly helping at a soup kitchen, and you're like, okay, you staged that for PR reasons. And that's the same vibe here, is like this person, I don't want to say they're staging the relationship, but it's definitely the public image of it is a major factor in this, and they want everyone to see that they're with this person and want to convey this image that they don't care. But of course, their feelings are still with you with the cards we've gotten. And I do feel like there's a message from their higher self that you guys should do what's good for you with that card we got, the Pega card. They are saying that like you guys should not necessarily stay hung up on this person, because it feels like they're going to be in this dysfunctional energy for a while with round and round. So make sure you guys are doing what's right for you, because it feels like you guys almost like felt sorry for them or something like that. So other cards we got for you guys, worthiness, and for the third party, divine masculine. So that's why they like this third party, is because this third party makes them feel like the divine masculine, or if you're asking about a feminine, it makes them feel like the divine feminine. Whether they are the actual divine masculine feminine or not, that's probably probably going to be a no, but it makes them feel that way, and that's all they want, is like that little validation of like, yeah, I'm actually pretty great. I know that, my ex would always say I was like not good enough, and I play video games all day long, and I'm constantly drinking beer, but no, I am the divine masculine. And it's like, no, you're not. But they don't want to hear those hard truths. So they're with someone who makes their life a lot easier and just makes them feel good in the moment. And they're all about that short term kind of gain, to be honest. You guys, though, look at that card you guys got. Hello. That's like Queen, Princess. I mean, she looks like a Disney fairy tale princess. Like, you guys are stunningly beautiful anyway. And also, I feel like, again, on this spiritual component of you guys being very evolved, very wise, very dignified. And I just keep hearing dignity when it comes to you. I'm hearing that song in my head from Selena Gomez, Vulnerable. I don't know if this person, I don't know, I don't want to get into that relationship, but like, I feel like that song is about someone treating someone badly, and she's like, I'm going to stay vulnerable. And I feel like that's something that you guys have, where there's a softness to you, but you're also going to really keep hold of your dignity. You're not going to let anyone rob you from your dignity. And I'm almost getting the message that this person somehow tried to rob you from your dignity. I don't know if they tried to break up with you in a rude way, or it was just this PR like mission they were on, where they wanted to let everyone know that they were dating someone else, and they really kind of tried to rub it in your face, because I could definitely get that vibe. But I feel like regardless, they still see you as very dignified. I feel like however you guys handled this, you never fully let them steal your dignity and this is why so many people respect you and have such a high opinion of you, is because you're not the type to like lose it and like run after someone and like smash their car windows out or something. Even though this person, honestly, I'm getting, they might have done things that like other people might have reacted that way, they might even deserve that, but you guys always kept your dignity. And it's so funny that this person is kind of larping as a divine masculine when you're the one who's in your divine energy and they're the one in distorted energy. But that's why they sought out this third party who's less aware. I don't want to say less intelligent, but less spiritually intelligent for sure. Maybe they're good in books, but like spirituality wise, I don't think they're as wise. I don't think they're as discerning as you. And so it was just easier for them to go with this person, because this person wasn't going to put them, make them act a certain way. This person just makes their life easy and will honestly kind of take whatever they can get. I don't know if your person is more attractive than the third party or whatever. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised, just because I'm wondering why this third party is putting up with so much stuff. So additional cards we got for you guys, light. So you guys, I've been mentioning the sun the whole reading. You guys truly give off light, more sun energy, or the star as well. More of that Leo, center of attention, sun energy. You guys shine so bright, and this is where the intimidation factor comes in, because you guys truly are main character, star of the show energy. And then for this third party, they got healing and moderation. So that's kind of their job. They are like the little healer for this person, but I don't know if they're actually carrying out their work. I feel like the best way they could heal them would be to give them some tough love, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. But with moderation, they might be cooking for them, cleaning for them, encouraging them, and it's just kind of like caretaker energy. Like, I feel like they just run around after them, emotionally speaking, and kind of clean up their messes and try to help them. And it's kind of codependent vibes, or just not very evolved like love. Like, I don't think they're gonna write love poems about this anytime soon. I don't think they're gonna stage a Shakespeare play centered around this dynamic. Like, I just feel like this is just like almost a fake relationship, and it's almost like, I feel like at first your person, they didn't even know what they were getting into. Like, they just kind of wanted something temporary to distract them from you, but then it's like, well, this kind of works, and this person makes my life really easy and pays for things and is just helping me with so much, and just, yeah, I don't have to try hard, so why not? Like, I'll just do it. But a lot of times, since I do my private readings. You guys can always book one of those if you scroll down into my bio. But I do talk to people who've been, married for a while. And yeah, I don't think this is a great way to start out a marriage or a relationship, is when someone is just like complacently like, well, I guess it works, why not, and so I don't love that energy for them. But for you, I do love your energy. I mean, I always get the most evolved viewers. I love whenever I get to talk to my viewers in a private reading. Like, y'all are just so amazing, so I'm not surprised, but you guys are definitely being called out by spirit with all these light cards and all these spiritually ascended cards, that you guys truly have been working on yourselves and you're making amazing process, and you are the star and you are the sun. So you guys are like beautiful center of attention energy. So we also got for you guys a message from your person. For you, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only being true to yourself that you can be true to others. And wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Interesting messages. And I honestly think that the wait message is kind of from your actual third party. And then I feel like the other message is from their higher self. And they're like, physical human self is wanting you to wait around for them and sit around and like hope they come back, but their higher self is acknowledging that honestly, it may be time for you guys to just move on. Maybe some of y'all are already doing that and you're just watching this reading as like, well, she just posted a love reading, I don't really care, but I guess I'll watch and see what he's up to, kind of a thing, because I know some of y'all are like that and you're like, I don't even care what my ex is doing, but you watch for like the abundance messages or whatever. But maybe that's why some of you guys are watching this. I wouldn't be surprised, because I feel like a lot of you guys might already energetically be more shifting your focus to your future and things that benefit you. But of course, this other person would love for you to sit around waiting for them. They definitely would love to be able to come back to you. I feel like you guys are still very attractive, and I still feel like they look at your photos for sure on social media. And again, spending a lot of one-on-one time with themselves, thinking about you in that way. Again, we're not trying to get into R-rated territory, but they are definitely thinking about you in a very sexual way, very drawn to you, very sexually attractive, and you guys are very beautiful. So it's like they still notice that about you. So I'm sure they would love for you to wait around and for them to figure their ish out and for them to finally get their stuff together. But I think their higher self is acknowledging that you guys should do what works for you, and not just sit around for them. So for the messages for the third party from them, we got acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are, and deep in your heart you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So I feel like that acceptance card sums up their relationship so well. It's just like acceptance. It's just like, it's not like, wow, I wanted this so badly and I'm so in love and I just sought this out and it's like amazing to me. It's like, well, that's okay. It's kind of like when you show up at the like lunchroom when you're a little kid and they're like, it's meatloaf today, and you're like, oh, I don't really like meatloaf, but well, I don't really have any other options, so okay, meatloaf it is. That's the feeling of like this relationship. It's not like, oh my god, my favorite thing, I sought out this person, I wanted them, I'm so glad to have them. It's like, whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. So again, I don't think they're going to write a romance about this story anytime soon, but for right now, I guess it's working for them. But it feels like they've just both kind of accepted, like, I don't know, y'all might even be a conversation in this relationship, because I do feel like this third party might be aware of you or might have heard of you or might be kind of like getting inklings that like their person hasn't fully moved on. I do feel like both of them kind of are aware of your presence in the relationship as like, oh, I had this ex, they really broke my heart or something like that. I don't know. But I do feel like for you guys, it's like you are the star, so you should definitely leave, or lead into what makes you feel good and what is benefiting you, and not necessarily wait for this person. Because I don't want to say they're a clown, but kind of like they just have a lot of issues they have to work through. I feel like I'm hearing your lips, so I feel like you guys have really beautiful lips. Something about your lips, you guys might have kissed them and be really good kissers or something like that. But I just feel like they're very hung up on you. They're still very attracted to you, and I just feel like that's not going to go away anytime soon, because I feel like you guys are doing a lot to keep yourselves looking good. You guys are just very, very beautiful. And yeah, so let's get some astro dice for you guys. So we got Sagittarius, we got the sun, and we got the 10th house. So this, oh my gosh, the sun, as I've been saying the whole time, like, come on, you guys. I'm telling you, you guys have this sun energy and you really are this star, center of attention. It's just so beautiful. And you guys know that and should know that and be focusing on your destiny and on your path. And speaking of, King of Wands, there's a lot of fire energy in this as well. So this person is very, very drawn to you with Sagittarius there as well. Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter and it relates to the ninth house and it can relate to things like travel. I don't know if there's someone here from another culture or something like that. That could be something that resonates for some of you guys. Also, Sagittarius relates to philosophy. So maybe some of you guys had deep conversations with these people or something like that. But again, I think there's also this element of like thinking in this relationship in terms of this person's relationship with a third party, where they have been very logical about going into it. Like we can see there's not a lot of cup cards except the very immature page of cups. So I don't think their heart is in this or their emotions are in this. I think it was just a very logical decision that they made of like, you know what, this benefits me because of XYZ and why not? And I'll just be in this relationship because it benefits me. But I don't think it's like their heart is in it and they're in love and their emotions are so strong. I think it's just very logically thought out, kind of philosophical type of thinking. Then we have the 10th house, which is kind of similar vibe because Capricorn is very logical, but that also relates to how people are perceived, their reputation, public honors, and stuff like that. And so with the 10th house coming out, I really do feel like they got into this relationship because they wanted to save face. They wanted to send a message to people of like, oh my gosh, I've moved on. I don't care about this person. Look at me, I'm with this person. There's something also about them wanting to seem conventional or fit in. So maybe, they wanted to get married to someone and this was easy and it just popped up because, maybe their family was on them about like, you need to get married or something, or I don't know, there was something that they wanted everyone to see that they'd moved on. I think a lot of this was because they were kind of walking around, moping around town, like Eeyore, after you guys were done with them or after you broke up with them. They were really sad and, like I said, just Eeyore mode, being sad and down in the dumps. And so it's like all their friends were wondering what the heck was going on and were talking to them about it and, maybe even a little concerned or whatever. And so because of that, they have been so trying to get their ego back and trying to send the message of like, no, I'm good, I'm happy, I've moved on, I don't care about this person. So that's a major component of this, is them really wanting the world to know how quote unquote happy they are and how they don't care about you anymore because they're so embarrassed that everyone saw them heartbroken and upset. So whenever someone's acting out of a place of just trying to kind of send PR and a message to everyone of, look at me, I'm so great, I've moved on, I'm happy, then that is a really bad way to make life decisions. Like whenever you're doing something for other people's opinions, that's really stupid. And it's funny because you actually have a lot of eyes on you, pile one. I know we're not turning this into like one of those readings where we talk about reputation, but you guys have a lot of people noticing you and you guys are like center of attention energy. And so it's funny because this person is trying to send a message, hoping everyone notices, but you guys naturally are center of attention. People naturally notice what you're up to and what you guys are doing. So you don't even have to try. So I think there's a lot of messages in here about how your person just took the easy way out, took the easy route, did what worked for them on a very this is simple, this is, I don't have to try so hard, why not type of energy, whereas you guys are kind of taking the hero's journey, hero's path, and going into the hard things in life and unafraid to kind of go after something that is a little harder but will serve you as like some glory in the end, if that makes sense. So I think your guides are coming through to say like, hey, stay focused on your path, don't get too distracted by this person, which I don't think you guys are, most of you in pile one. But yeah, they're still hung up on you and you're still a topic of conversation at the dinner party, I think, or at the dinner table, but But this is like kind of a janky relationship if I'm honest. Like it's just like two people who are just doing what's easy, one person who's like paying for the other or providing for them or coming around kind of like in mom mode, like mopping up after them and like cooking for them, cleaning for them. So just not anything I would want to be involved in, and probably not you would want to be involved in pile one. So I think this person's trying to send you a message, but long term, they're going to face some karmic consequences from seeking out this janked up relationship. So I really hope that helped you guys. Pile one, let me know if it did in the comments. I'm so curious about this pile. I really need to know what the heck was going on in this relationship. So please let me know in the comments, and make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up as well. And if you want to see my additional readings, like I mentioned, check out my Patreon. Link is in my bio for that. And I post additional readings all the time. And if you want to see more readings over here, make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. I am sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. So for today's reading, we are going to talk about your person's feelings for you over here, and then your person's feelings for the third party over here. So two separate tarot readings, and we're going to get information for their feelings for both of you guys. And then for your pick a card, that's your person's message to you, and that one is the Garden. And that can talk about someone wanting to take care of a person and really bring them into the best version of themselves. So that very well may have been their feelings for you, but we're going to find out more as the reading goes on. So for your tarot that your person has for you, we got the Knight of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Nine of Pentacles. And for your person's feelings towards the third party, we got the Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So we can see that this breakup or non-event that happened between you guys, whatever this was, caused them a lot of pain. We got the Nine of Swords and we got the Tower. So this obviously was something that was a big deal to them. It wasn't something that, you know, was just a non-event that they didn't really care about. This was something that really would have caused them pain and hardship and maybe even sleepless nights. I can see with a lot of the energy here that they really wanted to step strongly towards you. Whether they presented you with an offer or not, they felt very strongly pulled to you. We got the Chariot, we got two Knight cards, Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So their emotions towards you and their desire to step towards you was very strong. They really wanted to make something happen. And with two 9 cards coming out, it can really indicate that there was a feeling from their part like they were almost there. They almost made it happen in the way they wanted, because the 9 is kind of that energy right before you achieve it, right before something comes to fruition and completion moment. So it feels like maybe they didn't fully get to complete it in the way they wanted, but they felt like they were almost there. And I feel like that's what gives it this bittersweet quality, is they're like, oh, if I had just done this right, or if I had just done that right. And there's this feeling of like, I could just have tweaked this, or maybe I should have done that. And I feel like a lot of regret had to do with that, had to do with like, I almost made it happen, but I didn't. You know, kind of like that feeling where even like if you just bomb a test, you're really upset. But if you're like, I know I could have done well on that test, like I knew the stuff, or like I was so close, but then you just miss it somehow, then you're way more upset because it was like so close, but so far, you know? So I feel like a lot of their feelings for you are about how they almost made it happen, or how they, if they had just pushed a little bit harder, if they had just done something a little different, it could have happened. Then when it comes to your feelings for their person, I feel like, or your person's feelings for the third party, I feel like a lot of this has to do with public perception, because we got the Six of Wands. So there is this desire for other people to notice them with this person. And I am getting a feeling like, I don't know if this third party somehow fits making them look good in a certain way, or there's some kind of public situation where people are like, oh wow, like they make a good impression, or they fit into some mold of some kind. Maybe you know, the third party is like in a really prestigious career or something, or maybe they are physically attractive, or maybe they just have a similar background, but there's something about them making a good impression and them wanting other people to see this. And I feel like it's almost like their emotions aren't as involved. It's more about this awareness of how other people are going to view them, how other people are going to see this situation, and other people people's opinions of them. And I feel like a lot of this was motivated by this awareness they have of like public perception. I'm not getting a lot of emotions here other than the Three of Cups and the Seven of Cups, but the Three of Cups is actually a card about a third party situation. So this is acknowledging that you played very much a large role in your person's conception of this person. You're popping up, even though we asked about their feelings for this third party, you're still playing a role in this. They're still bringing you up and focused on you. So it feels like your person hadn't fully moved on. And the Seven of Cups can very much talk about being kind of preoccupied, head in the clouds, dreaming of something else. And also it can talk about having expectations that kind of aren't realistic, or letting your mind run away with you, like, imagining something that's just not going to happen, and I almost feel like your person had dreams about this relationship that were out of reality. Like, it's kind of like, I don't think they were thinking as clearly, or they had a kind of overly optimistic pie in the sky attitude. Like, if I date this person, then everyone's going to think I'm really cool. Or if I date this person, then, this person is going to be jealous and they're going to come back. And it's like, it wasn't fully clear thinking. It was like overly optimistic. And with the Wheel of Fortune, maybe they felt like this was like a stroke of good luck for them in the moment. Maybe I'm getting the vibe of maybe this person brings something to their life, or they're some kind of public thing for them that they really need. Like maybe they wanted approval from their parents and they give them that, or maybe they wanted, approval from their friend group and they give them that. But it's almost like this person felt like, oh, this person will be really good for me. And again, I'm not feeling like a strong emotional pull. I'm feeling more like, this will be good. Like, yeah, this will work. You know how sometimes maybe you feel really drawn to like a painting in a museum and you're like, oh my God, I just love that painting. It's so beautiful. It's so cool. And maybe none of your friends even understand it. And they're like, that painting? Yeah, it's okay. But to you, that means the most, right? And then we have those paintings that we feel like we have to see, we have to appreciate, like the Mona Lisa. I was just talking about that with my brother, and he was like, it was so unimpressive in person. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about, like, but it's like you feel like you have to take it in, you have to visit it, even if you don't care. You're just like, well, I guess I should see it, And I almost feel like it was like that situation with your person and their person. Like it's a very logical decision. It's like, well, they're bringing a lot to the table. I can't really pass this up. This really benefits me, so I got to do this. But I don't feel like their emotions were as much at play. Like I'm feeling it's a very, I don't want to say opportunistic, but that's the word that comes to mind. Just like, this will work for me. This will be pretty good. And I feel like your person was kind of a planner at this stage in their life. If they're not always a planner, this was definitely kind of planner energy of like, this will fit in perfectly to my plans. This would benefit me. And again, not so much an emotional draw, more like a very logical, rational draw to this person. Whereas with you, I can see that their emotions were very invested because we have the Knight of Cups. So they were very drawn to you. They did feel very like pulled towards you, and I'm really feeling like this energy here is like can't stay away. Chariot and then two Knight cards. It feels like they were just pulled in and like couldn't get their mind off you. So let's get more cards. So we got for their energy and feelings towards you, the Hawk Prince, and for their energy and feelings towards the third party, the Metal King. So for you, it's spirit communication, paying attention, and for your third party, it's discipline, armor, boundaries. So I feel like this third party, maybe they are someone who has kind of firm boundaries, or someone who is very rational, someone who is very much by the book, not someone who is super emotional. Maybe it's someone who's pretty disciplined in a way. I feel like, again, with this energy of not being super free flowing, not being super overly emotional, maybe it's just someone who has accomplished a lot in life because they're very disciplined, because they do things by the book, because they move towards things strongly without a lot of cups energy. Cups, water is great, but it can also be confused. It can be kind of like procrastinating, kind of that type of overly emotional vibe. I feel like this third party seems like the opposite of that. They seem like someone who really has their boundaries up, a lot of discipline, and is kind of like an achiever. So maybe this is why they make a good impression on someone's parents or on someone's friend groups, because maybe they're always doing a list of accomplishments. Like maybe they're that person that just wakes up in the morning and ticks 15 things off before they eat breakfast. You know what I mean? But either way, it definitely benefits this person to be with them. I definitely feel like they have um, gotten something out of this, somehow. Like, I feel like there's some kind of material benefit that they've gotten from being with this person, and some kind of definite objective material kind of glow up happening because they're with this person. And I feel like that might have to do with like reputation or people's opinions of them. Maybe it's just like, wow, I can't believe you're dating this person, they achieved a lot. Or maybe this person has like a public reputation or something like that, but they definitely wanted people to see that they were with this person. It may even have to do with this breakup with you. Maybe all their friends were like, you were so brokenhearted after this breakup. Like, you just seemed like you would never get over it. And I'm so happy that you're finally happy now, or something like that. I feel like there's a spiritual component when it comes to you. Maybe you guys do communicate on the astral realm, because we got spirit communication, paying attention, and the hawk print. So that's a very spiritually divine card. So you guys definitely might have known each other in past lifetimes, or just hang out on the astral plane. But either way, I can definitely see that what's so interesting about this pile is like there's just not a lot of emotionality. It feels very like logical. You know what I mean? It feels very like I'm using my brain to think this situation through and just deciding that this benefits me. It's almost like a pros and cons list. And there were like more pros on the list than cons, so they decided to do it, but it's not the stuff of like a romance novel. So let's get more cards. So we got for you guys, their feelings for you are inspiration, and their feelings for their person is justice. So again, with this theme of not a lot of emotionality, any card we could have pulled from this deck, but they got justice, which is a pretty kind of logically oriented card, right? It's not super emotional. Whereas with you, we got inspiration. I feel like there's almost a little more chaos around you than definitely than around this third party, and not in a bad way. A lot of people are attracted to chaos, especially when we talk about feminine energy. Feminine energy is actually chaotic by nature, whereas masculine energy is very rational and logical. So if you are a feminine and you're getting this reading, don't be afraid of being a little chaotic, because that's actually like kind of a positive attribute that a lot of people are drawn to in feminine energy, is this little chaotic side that kind of adds a little spice to life. It makes things interesting. It's not boring, it's not stilted, it's not just like by the book. It's very unexpected, it's very unconventional, it's like taking things by surprise, and a lot of people are super drawn to it. So again, don't feel bad about this or feel insecure about having a little bit of chaoticness to you, because I feel like this person was really drawn by that. They really enjoyed the fact that you guys had an unexpected quality to you, that you guys would take them by surprise and constantly keep them on their toes. Whereas I feel like this third party is very expected type energy. Like, they know exactly where they stand with them. They never have to be second guessing themselves. And again, there's some kind of benefit. I do feel like this third party could be an overachiever type personality, or just one of those people that always gets stuff done. They might even do a lot for your person. They might be that person who, makes them a bunch of sandwiches every morning before they go to work, or pays for them, or cleans, or whatever. But it's like there was logical material benefits to this relationship, where this person genuinely benefited from it in a very by the books type of way. Not emotionally benefited, not romantically benefited, but like financially or reputation wise. But there was like, they leave the relationship better than they came in. And it's kind of like too good of a deal to resist. When someone's like, maybe you're not interested in taking a job, but then they're like, well, we'll give you this 401k, and there's this amount of vacation time, and blah, 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 and this salary. And maybe you absolutely hate the job, and you're like, this kind of is horrible and not what I want to do at all. And I really wanted to do XYZ, but you're like, well, that vacation time and the 401k and the health insurance and this and that, and like, okay, the office is, they said they'd give me an office, and my own office. Okay, that's nice. So next thing you know, you're like, okay, I'll sign up for this, even though your heart's not in it. And that's kind of how it feels in this situation. So For you guys, you got life purpose, and for the third party, it got dating as well as creativity. And creativity actually came out reversed, and that makes sense for the energy I'm picking up on because, again, it doesn't feel particularly watery, creative, or chaotic. And I do think there needs to be a little aspect of chaos in order for real creativity to take place. So, again, this person just seems very by the book, as we've covered. And I almost feel like, again, there's something with dating, possibly your person or this third party having some kind of public profile in terms of people knowing them. Maybe they have social media or they're just known within the community or something like that. But again, I feel like there's a lot of benefit from this person that you're tuning into, your person, from this third party. So there's something where other people are seeing it and aware of it. And I feel like your person kind of enjoys having to step up to the plate for it a little bit. Like it's like, oh, everyone's noticing that I'm dating them and everyone thinks I'm really cool because I'm with them. Something like that, you know? And they kind of enjoy the fact that like people are paying attention, people are noticing, people are aware of this. So maybe they wanted that kind of public reputation aspect because maybe their friends were like, bro, you've seemed so upset since pile 2 dumped you, like you need to cheer up, you need to find someone else. But it's kind of like they just wanted people to know, whether this is friends, whether this is family. I'm not sure, but definitely it's like there's an aspect of getting other people's approval by being with this person. And then with you guys just seem very much more creative, like genuinely creative. And also I just feel like you guys, they feel much more emotionally connected in their heart center to you guys. You can see the heart center is activated there. And I just feel like when it comes to you guys, their heart and their emotions are in it. You guys might be connected through the heart chakra, but it's like they find you very fascinating and they're very, very drawn to you. And I do feel like with the garden coming out, there's this aspect that they kind of wanted to take care of you, but maybe they found this flipped and now they're with someone who takes care of them and makes things really easy for them. And so they're kind of like, well, I was willing to put in all this work for this person, but again, it's kind of like you were willing to take that job, volunteering for free, where you were going to be really creative and it was going to be something from your heart. But then you get offered that, 9 to 5 job with a 401k, and your heart is not in it in the way it would have been at that volunteer job where you were doing art. But you're getting paid really well, and there's just the brass tacks of all the benefits. So this is a major component of it. So let's get 2 cards for you guys. Their feelings for you, we got serendipity and higher power, and their feelings for this third party is mending and time for a nap. It almost feels like they're a little unconscious with time for a nap. Like they're not consciously choosing their life. And I see this a lot even in my personal readings, is like someone will almost just be in a relationship or something and it's like they didn't choose it. You know what I mean? It just kind of happened to them. Like it just was like, well, this person is kind of attractive and I guess I swiped with them on Tinder and they get along well with my family and okay, I guess we're dating now. And it's like I always kind of want to shake those people when I hear them and they're in a marriage or they're in a relationship, because I'm like, oh my God, you got to choose your path in life. Like you can't just slip into a relationship, because those are the relationships that I get to talk to them then 30 years later when they're like, yeah, I'm so unhappy with my husband and he doesn't fulfill me and all this stuff. And I'm like, why did you marry him? Why did you get with him? And they're like, well, it was just, our parents got along and like we just, and it just feels very complacent. So that's kind of the energy where I worry or I'm concerned for your person like 20 years down the line, because I'm like, they just don't feel like they actively chose this. It just feels like they're kind of floating along. And maybe again with mending, your person is doing this third party is doing something for this person. Like they're taking care of them in some way, they're making their life easier, but is there heart in it? I don't know. Like I said, I just keep going back to that metaphor, but if you have that job, maybe the person's going to be showing up to work every day. Consider if you're like the employer in that scenario. Maybe you offered someone the 401k, you do all this stuff for them. You're really hoping they like it. but maybe they actually hate the job and they're going to leave it at the first opportunity. And it's kind of a precarious situation for everyone to be in. Like, no one benefits, right? When someone hates their job, but they're just showing up because they have to, like, they're not going to put in their best work and they're probably going to leave sooner or later. So this is just concerning to me if I was seeing it on the other end. With you, it feels like there's a lot more emotionality here with higher power. There's a spiritual component to this relationship where you guys actually connect more on the astral plane, is what I'm getting, than on this plane. I feel like a lot of you guys were just drawn to this person and it's almost like it doesn't make sense. Maybe there's something about this where you guys come from different cultures, or there's some perceived incompatibility where people are like, well, wait, why would they be dating, or why would they be together? Like, they don't make sense. Like, other people who don't get the vibe, who are just judging, or who are looking at, like, you know, traits or characteristics and try to fit someone into a box. Like, oh, this person is this, and so they should date someone like this. Or this person is this, so they should date someone like that. And they're not paying attention to the vibe, the energy, the spiritual component to this. And it's almost like you guys were drawn together magically. But it's almost like Romeo and Juliet asking that. Like, I feel like there were other factors keeping you to get apart that had nothing to do with you. It wasn't like your emotions weren't there, or your person's emotions weren't there. It was like there was other factors. It was like there was other people involved in this, maybe putting judgment on it, or maybe they weren't even directly stating it or aware of you, but maybe they have parents that are always like, by the way, you need to get with someone who's also a lawyer like you, or who's a doctor or a lawyer or a high level executive, but don't you ever date a waitress or something like that. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's like a different culture, like, you know, you should date someone from your same culture, or maybe you should date someone from the same religion, or I don't know, or maybe their friends are just like really judgmental, kind of like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe you would, like, I would never go for a person like XYZ, and it just seeped into their brain of like, oh, I'm gonna be judged. Something like that. I don't know, because I feel like there's something where they're very aware of how other people perceive this, and that's a huge component, is like, oh, other people are gonna think I'm cool because I'm in this relationship, and like, it's just benefiting me in general. It's good for my life. So let's get more cards. So a card for you guys, the card for you, how they feel towards you is hope, and how they feel for the third party is lost and found. So for you, there's a lot of hope that you guys might get back together and reunite. There's this feeling that things aren't over yet, and I'm hearing in my mind that line from the Notebook where he says, it's not over, it still isn't over. So I hope you guys enjoy my Academy Award-winning acting in that quote. But yeah, so it's like they feel like maybe you guys are going to come back together. Maybe there's going to be a reunion moment in the future. And so they have not given up on this quite yet. Their feelings are still very invested. And I do feel like they're still talking to you and communicating to you on the astral plane. Their feelings for their person, it says lost and found. And I don't know, they feel like a little lost, and this person might have given them some temporary feeling of direction, or like of importance, or like, oh, this person's really helping me with something. But I feel like they're more lost, to be honest. Like, not that their person helped them be found, but more like they are lost and they still need a little bit of help, and they still need a little bit of redirection. Again, they're benefiting so much from this person in their life. Their person in their life, whoever this third party is really, to be honest, bringing a lot to the table. It's just sometimes I think when someone brings so much to the table, it's like, it's hard to know whether their emotions are in it or not. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like maybe you don't even want to be at that table, but you're just like, well, there's a lot of great stuff on top of it, so I guess I'll stay here for a while. So, you know, I think it's like, yeah, like I said, if you had someone working for you, but you knew they loathed the job, but the only reason they were there was for the benefits, but the whole time they literally hated coming into work and like hated what they did and like wanted to leave as soon as possible, you probably wouldn't be feeling super confident with like, oh, they're gonna do a great job at this. So I feel like there is this component where they are, I want to say, they're benefiting from this and they're kind of tolerating this third party in the meantime. You know what I mean? They're like, well, brass tacks of this, like, yeah, this is good for me, so I'll stick with it. But emotions, deep love, I'm not picking up on it. I'm not picking up on it. It's just not really there. Um, and they're thinking of you a lot because we got the Three of Cups. So they're still thinking of you. And I think with the Seven of Cups too, like that says that to me. Like maybe they want you to know. Maybe this is what's coming up, is like they want you guys to see them with this person. Maybe there's this aspect of like, I really hope they notice, so they see what they lost, so they see the mistake they made. Because I don't know what this is, but they for sure want everyone to see that they're in this relationship and that they like moved on, is what I'm hearing. So maybe it's just this thing that maybe some of you guys rejected them, or they perceived you as rejecting them. Maybe they never even stepped towards you. Sometimes people perceive a rejection as like, I had a crush on you and I never told you, but you rejected me. And it's like, they never rejected you. You never gave them the chance, but I feel a little rejected by you. So I think that this is maybe why they're so savoring this idea of like, everyone's going to know I'm with this other person and I look like I moved on, and I want everyone to see this. So let's get some astro dice to see more of the energies. Oh my gosh, and it flew out. So we got Taurus, which relates to the second house. We got Saturn, which relates to the 10th house, and Capricorn. And I should mention Taurus is ruled by Venus. And then we got the 7th house, which relates to Libra, which is also ruled by Taurus. So a lot of love energy here, but I feel it's more towards you rather than this third party. Yeah, and Saturn relates to the 10th house. 10th house has to do with our public reputation and people's perception of us, because it relates to the midheaven. That's where it is in the chart. So it's like people's ideas of us. And also I keep making that work metaphor. It's literally where we work and how we work and the job we have. So this feels like, again, someone that has very consciously and very logically and rationally kind of weighed pros and cons and chosen that they want to be with a person based on some rational decisions, not based on being overwhelmed with emotion. I feel like their feelings for you are more on the Venus side, and that is the energy of love. That is the energy of beauty. I feel like they find you very beautiful, and I do feel like with serendipity, they're hoping they can run into you randomly. And again, I think that really serves this person's interest, because they're very certain about, not coming off towards you like they care more than they do. I feel like they kind of want to hide their emotions to a certain extent. And they want to seem like they're really happy with this other person, like everything's great, and like they want everyone to be aware. I think this is a major component of why they're staying in this relationship, is like they want to seem like they moved on. They want to seem happy as a clam. Whether that's the case, I don't think so, because they're actually thinking of you a lot, but they don't want to come off that way. Maybe for some of them, they did come towards you with a strong offer with the Chariot. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them actually did step up and were like, hey, this is how I feel. But it feels like maybe they perceive that you rejected them, and now it's like they don't want to come off as someone who is like desperately missing you, even though that very well might be the case. And they are having late nights thinking of you. And so they are going to hope that they run into you randomly at like the coffee shop, or like bump into you in the grocery store and like, oh my God, what are you doing here? But they wouldn't actually want to pluck up the courage and send you that text and actually make themselves vulnerable, because again, they're very strong about trying to seem like they moved on, trying to seem like they're very linked into this person, even though with the Three of Cups coming out, they're still thinking of you. They view this reputation aspect as a major component of why they're with this person. And I'm getting, for a lot of you guys, it may be actually directed at you, not even at their parents or their friends, although that could be some of them. It's a general reading, so take what resonates with you. But for a lot of you guys, it may be that they're really trying to get your attention in particular. They want you to see they moved on. They want you to be looking at them like, well, I guess they're over it. I guess they're with this person. But the truth is, you guys have this very spiritual connection. You guys have this higher power threading through your relationship that makes you guys a lot more emotionally connected than they ever will be with this person. They're dreaming and thinking of you, and they do have the Knight of Cups when it comes to you. So that's an active thing that's still going on, is like they're still actively dreaming of you, thinking of you. And what I'm hearing also is music, that they communicate to you towards music. And I'm also hearing they connect with you while they're dreaming, and we do have time for a nap. So I feel like when they're sleeping in bed with their person, they are actually thinking of you, and they're kind of connected with you, and you guys might connect on the astral plane during that time, because you guys do have this really strong connection on the astral plane. So I can definitely see why they're with this person, because there's a lot of material benefit. It's definitely, like I said, that good job that offers benefits of 401k, stock options, an extended lunch hour, or whatever, you know what I mean, frequent flyer miles or something. Like there's a lot of benefits, but their heart is over here. You guys are like that, not to sound bad or anything, but you guys are like that unpaid internship that, like, you're not going to try to benefit them. You're not going to go out of your way to like force them to be with you. They're going to kind of have to step up to you, but their heart is in it. It's like I said, that internship that doesn't really pay that well, but that you're like, this is my life purpose. I love this so much. And you did get the life purpose card as I'm saying that. This is what I'm so connected to so deeply. But this is the rational decision of like, well, this gives me great stock options. So I know in between these two, personally, me, I'd rather be over here. But, you know, I can see this has benefits too, but I'd definitely rather. I mean, they write love poetry about this side of it, not that side. So anyway, I really hope it resonated. Pile 2. So let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts, your stories, everything you guys have to say. So let me know. And also make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up and turn on those notifications and subscribe as well. And if you want to check out my Patreon, I post additional readings over there. So definitely come join the party. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So for your pick a card, you guys got Apple, Risk, and Reward. And for the tarot, we're doing your person's feelings for you over here, and then your person's feelings for the third party over here. So let's get right into the cards. So we got the 10 of Cups for you, the Sun, and the Ace of Pentacles reversed for you. And then for the third party, we got the 7 of Swords reversed, 8 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. So the vibe I'm getting right off the bat, especially with this Poison Apple being your pick a card, is that your person felt incredibly tempted to be with you. You guys got the Sun card, so they're very drawn to you. There's a huge amount of magnetism, power, and energy that they sense from you. To them, you appear as kind of like the star of the show. Like when they walk into a room, you know, as far as they're concerned, it's all eyes on you. Whether that's the case or not for all of you, I don't know. But as far as they're concerned, that's exactly where their eyes would go. They would be staring at you, looking at you, paying attention to you. Like, you know, you are the main event for them. I feel like they were almost drawn to you so powerfully that it was like nothing they'd ever experienced before. Like this was just a huge amount of magnetism and feeling compelled to come towards you, feeling like they couldn't stay away, feeling like there was no one else that they could think of or pay attention to. Like it was like you were just on their minds. I'm feeling like the vibe between you guys, it feels almost like an addiction, because this Poison Apple card is bringing up to me something that maybe you know you shouldn't, you know, you should stay away from, or maybe you know you're like, I'm not sure if this is right for me, but it's just like so compelling, you can't be away from it. And so I feel like for you, it's like they were super drawn to you. Also with the 10 of Cups, there may have been an unspoken understanding. You guys might have had really positive aspects in your synastry chart, like, you know, moon aspecting Venus, or moon Jupiter, or just, I feel like you guys had good synastry in your moon section of synastry, because it feels like there's emotional understanding. Like you guys just can understand each other without having to say anything. Like you don't have to explain yourself with them. They just get you, and vice versa. And so I feel like they felt like you were a bit of an emotional home for them. But for whatever reason, obviously this didn't work out. And we do see the 10 of Swords, which can indicate a lot of sorrow, sleepless nights, someone losing sleep literally over the situation and not not being able to kind of relax or rest or anything like that. And with the Ace of Pentacles for you guys coming out reversed, it may have been a situation where it never really got off the ground. Like it never fully launched and turned into something solid, and it was like it was had so much potential, but it never actually launched and became a thing. And also Nine of Pentacles can also indicate that, like, because the 9 cards can be that moment right before completion. So Temperance reverse is also interesting because it could have indicated that they considered things were going to happen long term with you, and that was their vision, and maybe they didn't. Maybe like too much time has passed, or I don't know, but it feels like they had a long term plan of like, well, we'll end up together one day kind of a thing. So that's your section. And I talked longer about yours than I usually do with these pick a cards with the other piles. And it's because I feel like their energy and intentions for you are coming through so strong that like I'm like, okay, let me finally focus on this third party, because it's just not coming through as compelling, to be honest. This feels like it was a bit of a logical decision for them. We got the Queen of Pentacles reverse. We got the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like, this is really interesting because you guys pulled a lot of the same cards that the pile 1 did. And I feel like there was a similar dynamic in that person's choices with their third party where it was very logically based. It was kind of along the lines of, honestly, a big part of it too being like rebounding after a breakup, trying to distract themselves from their feelings and their emotions, and honestly, to a certain extent, not thinking clearly, not really thinking through like, I'm really into this person, I really like them, but kind of like those spur of the moment choices or decisions you make where you're just kind of acting on impulse. You're just like, screw it, we'll just do it this way, and maybe in retrospect you're like, that probably wasn't the best way to make that decision, but maybe you were emotionally overwrought, maybe you were in 10 of Swords energy and you were upset about something else, so you just kind of flee emotionally to like the next decision. You know what I mean? It's like your friend is like, hey, are you sure you want to date that guy? I mean, it feels like he's a rebound, and you're still not over your ex. I mean, are you sure you're ready? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I don't care about my ex. No, I'm good. No, I can't wait. I'm so excited. And it's like you're in a place of denial and in a place of trying to run away from those emotions. You know what I mean? You're not really capable of fully being present in that relationship and choosing that person from like a grounded place, because you're already trying to run from your emotions with someone else. And that's the vibe I'm getting from this pile, is like this person was still upset over you, and so they just kind of like wanted to seem like they had moved on. I do feel like they were also concerned about other people's opinions. And they wanted to project to everyone, like maybe their friends were like telling them like, dude, you have just been so upset since that breakup, like you need to move on, or like, dude, you need to go back on a date, you need to like meet someone new because you've been so upset, you haven't been the same, something like that, which can sometimes be good advice and sometimes can be really bad advice. But it feels like this is how this person ended up with this third party, is like they're just kind of going through the motions and not a lot of emotions invested in here, because we only got the Four of Cups. That's the only cup card here, and that is a card that can talk about not paying attention and kind of being delusional, or just being head in the clouds and not paying attention. So it's like this person was very focused on you emotionally and really not capable of taking this person in. But it feels like they were present with them physically, but like emotionally not so present. But for whatever reason, maybe this third party doesn't really care. Maybe this person is really hot to the extent that they're like, hey, listen, I don't really care if they're present or not. Like, I'm dating them and it's a win for me. So I'll take them however I can. But it doesn't feel like they were emotionally invested. And I feel like there was a part of them that kept trying to keep themselves blind, because we are getting a lot of cards about them not paying attention in the moment, them being very emotionally distracted and not as invested, not as present in their life as they should have been. I think when we all look back at like our big mistakes in life, it's always been those moments when you're kind of running away from something else, distracted, you don't want to deal with something, you're not really present in your body, in your emotions, so you're just like, I'll just do this. Maybe you get a bad vibe about someone, but you're just too out of it emotionally to like pay attention because you're just overwhelmed. And that's kind of the vibe here. Like, I honestly, I don't want to say you guys did a number on them, but kind of like they were very upset, I feel, about this. And I do feel like, again, coming through with an emphasis on people's perception of them, because we got the Hierophant. That's a card that has to do with like tradition. I mean, it has multiple meanings, of course, like all the tarot cards. But, one thing that comes to mind in this situation is like tradition or looking traditional. Maybe they wanted to get married, or maybe they wanted to have that relationship. Maybe they wanted to, broadcast a message to everyone that I've moved on. I'm happy. I don't really care. I'm done, And so it was like something where, they're caring very much about how they fit into society, how others think of them, what people have to say to them. And I honestly also wonder if this third party might financially support them in a way as well, because we do have the Queen of Pentacles here reverse. And I just wonder if maybe this person, there's some transactional situation. Maybe they give this third party money, or the third party gives them money. And makes their life easier in that way. I feel like they didn't have to give themselves as much emotionally to this third party. Like, I feel like you guys are a bit more demanding. You expect the best. Nine of Wands can talk about someone that, expects some effort, and like, there's some effort required. So maybe you guys were expecting that they would put in some work for you, and your standards were a lot higher, and this third party just kind of takes whatever. Like, I would assume this third party is this way anyway, because again, they feel very emotionally distracted. I feel like if I, as an intuitive, met this person, I would immediately be like, okay, you're not over your ex. Like, why are you even, I'm not on Tinder, but if I was on Tinder and ran into this person, I'd be like, why are you on Tinder? Like, you're not over your ex. You need to heal. You need to, get yourself right before you're back ready to date again. But I feel like this person, for whatever reason, this third party, maybe they're just not intuitive to sense it, or they just didn't care. They just glossed over it. They just were like, well, whatever, I'll just take what I can get. But yeah, a lot of emotional disconnection here. So let's get more cards for you. So you guys got the Altar Priestess, Preparation, Prayer, Sacred Ritual, and the Spirit Whisperer, Divine Guidance, Higher Knowing. So with these two cards, I'm getting like a High Priestess vibe for sure. And your feelings, your person's feelings for the third party, interestingly, they both came out reverse. So we got the Eyes of Beauty, Positive Expectations, Clarity, that's reversed. And the Shadow Queen, Acquiring Knowledge, Insecurity, Manipulation, and that's reversed as well. So I feel like this is really interesting, because the other person, actually, they got multiple cards that's beauty reversed. So I'm like, I mean, I don't want to say anything harsh, but they all the beauty cards came out reversed for this third party. So I'm like, uh I don't know if they're saying that like this third party is way less attractive than you, but that's kind of what I'm leaning to, because again, you guys will see, but they came out reverse. So I'm like, is this person's mind always comparing you and just realizing that you guys are really beautiful and the other person is not as beautiful? Or maybe this third party just looks really good on the outside and is not as attractive on the inside, and there's that contrast. I don't know, but I'm getting for most of you guys, honestly, I hate to say it, because of course we shouldn't just, beauty is more than skin deep, but I feel like they're just saying that this third party is not as beautiful as you, and this is like a factor that this person thinks about. Maybe they just compare, or they can't move on from you, or there's a part of them that just is aware that like this third party they're with is like not as beautiful as you are. So yeah, I just want to mention that. I know like some people can get upset, when we talk about beauty things or physical appearance, but since I have to mention what Spirit's telling me, so I don't know if you guys just look a lot better than this third party for whatever reason, or you guys are extremely physically attractive and this third party's like just not on the same level. I don't know, but that's what they're saying. So yeah, and you guys, as I was saying, I feel like you guys would be High Priestess energy over here. I'm surprised we didn't get it with these two coming out. There's a very spiritual component to your guys's love. Like, I feel like you guys do connect on the astral plane, or you have a soulmate connection, or you guys have a spiritual connection of some kind. And again, I'm getting unspoken. Like, I feel like this person was just drawn to you before you guys even ever talked. There was an unspoken vibe, and this happens a lot when people have synastry involving the moon or other psychic placements. Neptune, Venus as well would be great for this, where there's an unspoken like dialogue between you guys, where you don't need to speak, you don't need to say anything, because psychically and intuitively you're communicating. So you might have had, I just keep getting that the psychic planets and the intuitive planets may have been very heavily prominent in your synastry chart. So you might have had Neptune, Pluto, or the moon aspecting Venus, or aspecting the sun, aspecting Jupiter. There's a bunch of ways that can show up, but definitely it feels like there's psychic planets that were influencing this relationship and causing you guys to be so drawn to each other so that no one really had to say anything. You guys don't need to speak. It's just drawn together like magnets, just right, the two of you. So I feel like even though you guys might not have even had deep conversations all the time or talked about everything the way you might have in other relationships, maybe you guys never reached that point in the relationship where it was like, okay, we absolutely discussed every detail of our lives, but you just know each other so well, you feel so drawn to each other. So there's this deep unspoken connection that this person is bringing up. It says divine guidance, higher knowing. And that's a lot of times what happens when there's a soulmate connection, is like it's higher knowing. It's divinely being drawn. It's your guide taking over and being like, get together with this person, like the meme of like that, but like literally bringing you guys together. With the Shadow Queen coming out reversed, this person, I feel like, we got the Queen of Pentacles as well. Maybe their third party is actually pretty prosperous. Maybe they're very successful, and they might be the kind of person that either uses that for manipulation, or not even manipulation, but that just influences the relationship. Kind of like, this person is really smart, this third party is smart and intelligent and maybe an achiever type of person. And it's like, again, this is why this person is drawn to the third party, is they're like, this benefits me. Again, very brass tacks, very like pros and cons list type of reasoning for why they're with them. And maybe it was a thing where like they're like, I'm not as drawn to them, I don't have as many emotions, but they're doing really well in their career, or they're very organized and very balanced, and they're going to do great in their career. And so like, this just is going to benefit me. I feel like this third party feels kind of no nonsense and very supportive of them. Like, they'll tolerate whatever they're doing because this third party is kind of a go-getter and achiever type. So they don't mind taking on extra stuff, but it's not super romantic. It's like that overachiever couple in like a movie. I don't know if that is a couple in a movie, but if I wrote a movie, I would put an overachiever couple because I'm not a huge fan of that dynamic always. So like, I don't know. Maybe like, that couple from Best in Show that like have the little dog and they wear the matching turtlenecks, like that kind of vibe. I mean, not fully, but a little bit. Like, this person I feel like is that type that's good in their career and really smart, but again, not a lot of emotional connection. So let's get more cards. So their feelings for you, blessings, and their feelings for their person, career, reverse, and beauty reverse. So I'm telling you, like, I'm not making this up, y'all. Beauty reverse coming out again. I'm like, what are you guys trying to say? This is like this is turning into like a rude reading, and I was not trying to bring it there, but they're just kind of calling out like, you guys are very attractive, and I just don't think your person's as attracted to this third party, to be honest. So they just keep bringing it up. So I don't know if this is something on their mind or what, but yeah, they're very aware. I think you guys really are striking. I mean, you guys are the sun. Maybe you guys are that person that like all heads turn when you walk into a room. You're just physically got bone structure on point and you just look good. And maybe their person is like okay looking, or I don't know, but it just can't compare to you. So they're very aware of that. But their career might be on point because we've got a lot of cards about that, about them getting money, about them being ambitious. So again, I'm getting like brass tacks. Like, it's just like, they're like, this really benefits me. This would be a good person to be with. This person's going to make a lot of money. This person is going to be successful. So why not be with them? So I would not write a romance novel or love story about this kind of relationship, but they do exist. A lot of relationships are just someone kind of adding up the pros and cons list and very dispassionately and unemotionally deciding like, yeah, this will be good for me. But those stories we have of like epic love where you're so drawn to the person, this is not that vibe. This is like, I mean, why wouldn't I be with this person? Kind of like in Pride and Prejudice, how like Mr. Collins marries that friend, and then she has to tell Elizabeth, like, listen, Elizabeth, not everyone marries for love. This benefits me because XYZ. That's kind of like a lot of people get married or are in relationships because of that. So I'm getting those vibes from this card pile. For you guys, I feel like they consider your relationship a real blessing, and it makes sense to me with this spiritual component because I feel like they get a lot of strength from you on the spiritual plane. I feel like they do communicate to you on there, and your spirit guides kind of look out for each other on the astral plane and communicate on the astral plane. So when they're feeling down or feeling upset, I feel like they connect with you up there and go to you on the astral plane. So I think that they're kind of thanking you for that and just acknowledging that they've really been blessed because of that and been like it's helped them out a lot. So let's get more cards. So for you, we got love reversed. And for the third party, we got intimacy. So I'm feeling like, again, their relationship with this third party, I feel like it's more, how do I describe this? Like more of a relationship that is like lived in, I guess. Like I don't know how to describe this, but you guys feel like this passion, like maybe it never even got off the ground fully. Like it's like honeymoon stage, like that early beginning of the relationship when you're so into the person and you just can't keep your eyes off them and you're so drawn to them. But even more than that, like this deep magnetism. Honestly, like I mentioned earlier, you might have the psychic placements, but what's coming through is Pluto, and Pluto can definitely feel like this because Pluto does relate to sexuality, and it's just that feeling of something that's kind of forbidden because it is the underworld, and Pluto, and literally Pluto in ancient Rome or Greece, I forget which, but like Hades. So it's that forbidden kind of dark energy, and I feel like that really sums up this vibe. We got the poison apple, like it's like this person kind of knows. I'm hearing The Heart Wants What It Wants by Selena Gomez. So I just feel like this is like forbidden love. Like I can't stay away. I know I shouldn't go for this, but I can't. I'm just obsessed with this person kind of vibe. And I feel like that's why love might be reversed, is because it never moved into this like companionate love of like just holding hands and like looking after each other. And I'm seeing someone giving someone a sponge bath. Like that's not the vibe. This is more like that torrid passion. Like I'm not saying y'all did this, but like meeting in a hotel and like assumed names and like just very very intense feelings, but not that love where it's like, okay, we've met each other's families and we're just watching Netflix on the couch and we're wearing our old ratty PJs and lived in sweats. It's like very early stages and incredible intensity of emotion. Whereas I feel like their feelings for this third party are very, like I said, lived in. Like I said, ratty sweats on the couch, like just going to your favorite local like Thai restaurant and just the menu by heart, and you guys watch your favorite TV show, that kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like lived in love, like companionate love. Like we've been together for 5 years and I know all about like your foot fungus that you had. That's really embarrassing. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but like, like I know all about you, and there's not that spark so much left. But like, again, this person is very logical about like why they're with them. Like I don't feel like they felt drawn to them, but in a way their feelings may have been hurt after you, so then they were like, I'm going to avoid that. Like I'm going to take that as a red flag. I never want to feel so intensely about someone again like I felt about them, because I got my feelings smashed and my heart smashed. So I am never going to go for that again. Next time I'm going to go for someone that's easy, that's like manageable. And honestly, I'm getting a bit of a power dynamic in this relationship that your person may have been more attractive than this third party. And maybe that's something they liked, is like maybe you're the sun, you guys have this magnetism, all eyes are on you, you're the star. And they hated that, you had so many options and you had high standards as a result. So they went for someone who's easier and who doesn't have as high standards. They went for someone who would be in awe of them, who would be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe this person is with me, because they didn't want to have to step up to the plate and feel all the butterflies all the time and get nervous and, be on edge because it's like you guys make them nervous, like honestly. So I have to keep my readings a little shorter now because of my new filming camera. But let me get more cards for you guys because y'all know I can go on and on. Okay, so for you guys, we got time to go, never ending story, regeneration reversed, and peace and time to go is reversed. For your person's feelings for the third party, we got chaos and conflict, co-create and blast. So I feel like with you, again, there's an attempt to move on that might have failed, and it feels like it's a never ending story. Like they can't really fully move on. They may have tried and tried and tried again and really moved towards, like, I'm just going to leave this person in the past, but they really can't. And it's interesting we got regeneration because that is related to Pluto. Scorpio is all about regeneration and the phoenix rising from the ashes and death and rebirth. And so, again, strong Pluto energy in this reading, and that is that like magnetism where, like I said, you can't stay away. It's very sexual also. Pluto literally rules the genitals and Scorpio rules sex, so there was a lot of sexual desire for you, but I feel like you guys connect on the astral plane still. So yeah, I think you guys do have this peace like aspect where maybe when you're stressed or you're going through a lot, you go up to the astral plane and you kind of connect with them up there, or vice versa. And then as far as your person's feelings for this third party, we got chaos and conflict, co-create. I feel like with co-create, they're creating a life with this person. Like it's like they've kind of made this covenant or commitment that they're going to be together. They are going to co-create a life together. And I feel like, again, with bless, this person is adding up all the things this third party brings to their life, which again, I feel like a lot of it is very logical. Like they bring money, or they bring career success, or maybe their third party is very good at like schmoozing at career functions or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's like they're very materially benefiting from this. You know what I mean? They're better off as a result of this relationship on just a purely material, financial, or like life level. You know what I mean? Not an emotional level, but in terms of pentacle energy, in terms of material benefit, there's a lot coming from this person. But they may be fighting lately with chaos and conflict. So that's something for you guys to keep an eye on. If they've moved on with and they're in a relationship with this person, they might be breaking up, or they might be going through a lot of fights, and it may be on the edge of like getting a divorce or a separation or something like that, because I am getting that that's something that's been happening lately for them. So we also got for messages for you, new beginning, a new adventure awaits, embrace it and live your dreams passionately, and emotions are a necessary and natural part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And for your person, trust. For the third party, trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. And secret admirer, someone has deeper feelings for you than they're letting on. I honestly think this card relates to you. I think that this person, they may be with this third party, and they might pretend like they moved on, or tell this third party they moved on, but I feel like they haven't. And with secret admirer, I feel like that they're admiring you and they keep track of you and they still think of you a lot. I think their higher self is saying to you that, seek a new beginning. Like, don't sit around waiting for this person, because they have a lot of entanglements with this. I love that phrase, entanglements. Thanks, Jada Pinkett Smith, for saying that. I just love that phrase. But they have a lot of entanglements with this person. So it's like they are very much still enmeshed with them, and this is going to take a while to work out. And they might end up with them because, again, they're very brass tacks. They're in a kind of superficial energy right now, paying attention to like, this benefits me, this works for me. So don't sit around waiting for them. And if you do, I think this is from their higher self. I'm sure they would love for you to sit around waiting for them all the time. We got never ending story from them, so I'm sure they would want you to sit around and just think about them 24/7. But I feel like their higher self is saying, if you need to move on, definitely do that, because I think you need to do what's best for you. So feelings for you are transformation reversed, and stargazing feelings for their person are inner child and celebration. So I feel like they're allowed to be a bit of an inner child with this third party. Like this third party might just let them kind of not do much, but like this third party kind of looks after them, takes care of them, is kind of okay with them not really fully living up to their expectations, or not fully bringing themselves to the table in the way they should. And again, I get that you had way higher standards for them, so it's like they're enjoying the fact that this person's a lot easier to deal with, but their emotions aren't in it. I do feel like they still actively think about you. They're very connected to you. They might look up at the stars and dream about you, or just dream about you 24/7, because that's what this card brings up for me. And they really don't want you to move on with transformation reversed. But I also feel like they're accepting that a lot of you guys might be pulling away on the astral plane and not paying as much attention to them. And they're very resistant to that, but they're acknowledging that it's happening. Let me get some more astro dice. I wish I could go on and on in this reading because it's really interesting, but I don't have as much recording time on this new camera. So we got Sagittarius, we got third house, and we got the nodes. Wow, I'm not surprised by that one. Okay, so the nodes are destiny. So you guys might have had past lives together, because the nodes do talk about that. They talk about, yeah, past lives. And then your current destiny as well. So you guys definitely have this very spiritual component in things, but I'm also getting that the nodes relates to this person might have chosen on the astral plane to live their life with this person. Sometimes people make, again, very brass tacks decisions on the other side as well. Sometimes someone chooses to be in a relationship that's going to benefit them and be really difficult for them and not be as emotionally supportive, but they grow through that. And so again, don't sit around waiting for this person. Step towards your own destiny, because they might have made a commitment with this person on the astral plane to meet up and learn for whatever reason, and maybe their emotions aren't in it, but they're still going to learn from it. So you guys think about you and what benefits you. With the third house, I do feel like this person would like to reach out and communicate to you. That is ruled by Gemini. It relates to communication. So I feel like there may have also been communication disruptions with you guys. Maybe there was an argument or something that was said that was like unpleasant, or like said badly, or like miscommunication of some kind is just coming through for some of you. And with Sagittarius, that relates to Jupiter, and also it relates to the ninth house. So the ninth house and Sag and all that energy relates to traveling. It also relates to philosophy. And learning and growth. And like I said, I feel like a lot of you guys are learning through these relationships. The third party, you, everyone involved in this is learning from stuff. I just keep getting the message from their higher self that you should be learning and like traveling and exploring and stepping into your destiny, not waiting around for this person, because they might have a bit of a stagnant life, to be honest, with this vibe. This doesn't bode well to me. So just let them make their mistakes, and you guys focus on your amazing lives, because you guys are the sun, you're a star, and you guys, ooh, you are the center of the attention, the star of the show, and you need to focus on glowing up and being the highest version of you. So I really hope that helped you guys. I wish I could go on and on and on, because I actually am fascinated by this pile in particular. So please tell me what was going on with this in the comments. I'm really curious about this pile in particular. Pile 3, let me know. I really need to know. And also make sure to give it a big thumbs up if it resonated. And if you want to check out my additional readings, you can check out my Patreon. Link is in my bio for that. So check that out if you want to see that. And also make sure to subscribe over here, turn on those notifications, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So I am sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 4. So for your pick a card, you guys got true love. This love is once in a lifetime, and I am going to do your tarot reading half with their feelings for you and half with their feelings for this third party. So starting right off with the tarot, we got the 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 4 of Wands, and for their feelings for this third party, we got the 6 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles reversed. So I can see right away that they were very drawn to you. It's interesting because you guys actually got 7 tarot cards, the most of anyone, because yours flew out. I can see that they were very drawn to you because those cards that flew out were the Empress reversed and the Devil reversed. So they were very tempted by you, very drawn to you, and they also did indeed imagine imagine a long-term future with the Four of Wands. So this was not something they were just kind of rushing into, but not thinking, was going to be long-term. They were very attracted to you and very pulled into you. But it also felt like they were in it for the long term. They were in it for the long run. However, with your person's feelings to their third party, I almost feel like this is something that they didn't take as seriously at first, to be honest. With the Six of Cups coming through, it may have been a situation where they kind of wanted something a lot more lighthearted. I don't know if you guys had a fight or there was something between you guys where there's a heavy energy that I'm getting, like maybe something happened. I'm not sure exactly what. It's a general reading, but I do feel like it's almost like they wanted to take their mind off things. They wanted things to be a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more easy. And so going with this person, it feels like they don't have to try so hard. You guys got the Seven of Wands, and that can be a card that talks about like hard work and having to fight things off, having to fight other people off. Honestly, it's a very competitive card about competition. Maybe they always felt like they were having to kind of compete with other people for your affection. Maybe you guys are just very desirable and you attract a lot of people and you have a lot of offers and a lot of people who want to date you, and they always felt like they were in competition or they had to keep, these people away from you, kind of a thing. But I do feel like, it was something with this other person where they didn't have to work as hard. You guys got the Seven of Wands, they got the Eight of Wands with this other person, and that can talk about things already being in the air. So it's like maybe even when they met this person, they didn't have to put in the work and this person was already down to like, go hang out. Like they didn't have to have as much effort. It was already flowing. It was already halfway there. You know what I mean? They just came up and said hi, and they were already halfway to a relationship, that kind of a thing. Because I'm just getting that like the work it wasn't as hard, it was a lot easier. And so I feel like with you guys, they were so drawn to you, but then there was almost maybe a little resentment about the work they had to put in. They also got the Eight of Pentacles, so they may have felt, and we got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, so it may have felt to them like they were always having to put in effort, like they were always having to try so hard with you to get your attention. With the King of Wands, it may be that this third party viewed them as just so attractive. Like this person was like, oh my gosh, this person's a king. This person is like so sexy. This person is so gorgeous. And it may be that like they just were able to kind of sleep. Four of Swords is literally a card about sleep. It's literally a card about taking it easy. So I just feel like this was easier for them. And with the Hanged Man, it may have been very new for them. And I think sometimes when people leave a certain energy, they go into another energy, and it's almost like a self-righteousness, like, well, this is how it should be. I shouldn't have had to work so hard. But the truth is, all good things in life you have to work hard for. And I actually get concerned whenever I see someone in a complacent energy like this, of just accepting something because it's easy. Because I'm usually thinking like the hard things in life are usually the best things. I sometimes in readings will see someone in like my private readings, which you can always book if you scroll down to my private readings link. But in private readings, sometimes it'll be like someone's very complacent and they just want something that's easy for them. And I'm always like, think about what you really want, because what really makes you happy, most of the time it's gonna take a little effort. You know what I mean? But it feels like this person was just like, oh, this is how it should be. Yeah, I should be treated like this. This is what I deserve. I don't even have to try with this person. Whereas you guys are the Empress. You guys expect a little bit more. You guys have a little bit higher standards. We can see with the Eight of Pentacles here, this scene is like, I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but he's carrying her on his back. He's putting in the work in this. And it's like with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, maybe this person, they didn't want to do the work anymore. They got over it. They were just kind of like fed up. Let's get more cards. So how do they see you? The Prison Wave, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness, and the Spiral Dancer, circuitous route and perception. And how do they see their third party? We got Lady of the Mirror, reflection, non-judgment, and the Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, withholding. See, this is exactly what they like about this person. Reflection, non-judgment, and generosity, receiving. Like, they just like that this person made it easy for them. This person was very non-judgmental. non-judgmental. This person was just like, sure, you want to call me at 3 a.m. and have a booty call? That's fine with me. Or whatever this is, maybe sometimes the dynamics switch up from masculine to feminine if you're a masculine or a feminine or whatever. But I feel like whatever this is, it was like this person was just made this relationship flow. So there were certain things you were either not willing to do or you expected of them. And this other person, third party, just didn't do any of that. This person, third party, was just like, hey, I'll take whatever I'll take whatever you want to give me, or I will do whatever for you. Like, this third party just made it so easy, was just so lucky to be with them and made things flow very easily. Because with the Six of Cups, that can talk about, kind of a childish energy or a childlike energy. And when you're a child, you think about the energy you're in. Your parents do everything for you. They take care of you. They look after you. All you have to worry about is like, what flavor popsicle do you want? And like, do you want to play on the slide or the swings at the park? So it's like a lot of times in life, someone can also want to be in that childlike energy, for better or worse. They can just gravitate, immature people can gravitate towards people, things, events that just make their life feel like that childlike, easy energy. And it might not even be something they really, that benefits them long term, but it just makes them easy for them in the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if this person, frankly, because we also got the devil with this person, maybe you were calling out some addictions, and it might not even just be like addictions to illegal substances. It may be addictions to things like video games or adult materials or bad behaviors. Anything can be an addiction. Overeating can be an addiction. Shopping can be an addiction. Exercise, anything that takes you out of the moment and it just makes your life, kind of distracts you. And especially, I think nowadays, a lot of people have food addictions or video game addictions or online addictions or things where they're not fully being engaged in this world. And it's just like they're distracting themselves. And that's kind of the energy. Maybe you called them out, or maybe you wouldn't tolerate something like that. I don't know. But with the prison wave, I just definitely feel like there was a negativity. And I picked up on that before with you guys. There was some negative thing where maybe you didn't accept them, or they felt judged by you and they're mad about it. They're not happy about it. But I feel like you guys are that person that has so much dignity. I feel like the spiral dancer, she just looks like someone who is aware of her own power. You can see she's holding this little ball of light in her hand. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but it just feels like with you guys, you knew your power. You knew what you brought to the table. You knew what you offered. So you weren't going to be like, oh, absolutely, play Doritos on the couch or eat Doritos on the couch next to me all day and play video games and I'll just watch. I love that. Oh my gosh, such a turn on. You weren't that person who was going to say that, or who was going to say like, oh my gosh, you're, thousands of dollars in credit card debt and you just rack it all up every month and you quit your job and you're unemployed and you're just continuing to do that. Oh my God, I love it. God, oh, perfect. Like, you had standards for this person somehow, or you have standards. That's how they perceive you, as someone they would have to step it up for. And it's like, they're just too lazy. They're just not in that energy. So this person, third party, makes it way easier. They're just making their life super easy. And I honestly find, to be honest, so many couples end up together that way just because it's easy. People just go with what's easy, and it's really kind of sad. It's like the opposite of romance, but it happens so often. So let's get more cards. So for you guys, the card we got is love. So again, I kind of skimmed over it, but your pick a card was true love. So their feelings for you were very deep. Their feelings for their person, y'all, I wish you could watch me shuffle so you can see all these come out. Freedom. So they like that this person lets them kind of have their freedom, lets them do what they want. They don't have to uphold a certain standard. They don't have to live up to certain things. They just, their life is easy with this person. It's just like, I can be free. I can do whatever. I don't have to try. I just can flow. It's not a big deal. And it's almost like they're, again, childish energy. Like they're a kid who's like, whoa, I can play video games all day. I keep getting that video game thing. I don't know if that relates to someone or something, but it's like, how sometimes I look back at things I would get excited about as a teen. And it was like, I used to love to have my parents drop us off at the mall, me and my friends. We just like hang out at the mall for hours and just like run around and do stuff. We'd get our nails done, or we get like different beauty things done to us, like, I don't know, facials and stuff, which I'm like, why was I even doing that as a teen? Like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really need it like when you're when you're a teenager, but whatever. So we would do stuff like that, and we would also just hang out, like just go to stores and just hang out in the store. And now I look back and I'm like, that why would we do that? And we would like run into people and hang out, but I would get so excited, like, oh my gosh, we're going to the mall, we're gonna see. We were like young teens, but now you couldn't pay me to spend like 6 hours in a mall. I'd be like, absolutely not. I'd be so bored. Like, I just, no, I don't want to do that. And I don't care about running into that random guy. But to me, that was so exciting. And I think that's the thing. It's like an immature energy. It's kind of like getting excited over something small where they should probably be paying attention to, not that like, oh my gosh, my partner is like cooking for me and making me mac and cheese tonight, and I don't have to lift a finger, but like, what's my long-term plan? How do I actually feel connected to this person? Um, are my feelings really deep? Is this how I want to spend the rest of my life until I'm 75 years old? Am I really deeply in love? Is this the highest expression of myself? But instead, they're just going with that complacent energy. You know what I mean? And excited and getting jazzed up about the small stuff. I hope that makes sense, you guys. So we got, for you guys, forgiveness and yin and yang, and for their feelings for the third party, maturity. I feel that that this maturity is for this third party. Like, I feel like this third party almost has a motherly or fatherly energy. That sounds creepy, but like a caretaking type energy for them. Like, they look after them. They let them stay in this childlike mode where they're not stepping up into their highest divine expression of themselves. It's not to say we can't have a certain childlike expression. Like, we can, of course, it's a great thing to stay in touch with your childish enthusiasm, being excited about the world, having joy, and all of that is a good thing, right? But when we're immature, when we're looking at things of like, what's easiest for me? Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I don't want to try hard. Okay, this just makes my life easy and I don't have to step out of my comfort zone. That's a bad thing. And that's the energy they're in. And it's almost like their partner has become their caretaker, or their partner looks after them. And they're very grateful to their partner for this, to be honest. They are very grateful. They are acknowledging that like they benefited a lot from this. And I do feel like it's like that's how they feel now, but I don't know how that's going to be 10, 15 years down the road. I wouldn't be surprised if their partner, third party, gets fed up and leaves, because who wants to deal with this for life, or it just gets janked up, because I do feel like their feelings are not even real. Their feelings are just like, okay, this is easy, this works. And every time I've done that in my life, like, this job is really unchallenging, so I think I can do, well, sure, why not? Or like, let me take this class because this is literally no effort for me. I'll just take this class because like I already know this subject, and like, why not? Easy A. I always ended up like halfway through the semester hating it, being like, I am so bored. I could scream. I hate this class because I literally know everything, and I just took it for the A, but I can't believe I have to come sit through this because like I already know all of it, and I just want to be like doing anything else, literally anything else, So I feel like it's just an unchallenged energy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens long term. I feel like their feelings for you were a lot more intense and passionate. And like I said, I barely talked about it. I was going to talk about it, but we got true love and love. So they really had deep feelings for you. They really were very invested with you. This was kind of a spiritual divine connection with yin and yang, but I almost feel like there was something where they had to step up to the plate with you. You weren't willing to accept the bare minimum, and they, like, I'm feeling like ran, like they ran away. Like it was like, oh my God, I don't want to be held under this microscope, like I can't do this. This is too hard for me. And they just like bolted. And I almost feel like their higher self is asking for a little bit of forgiveness and saying like, I'm sorry, I messed that up. I definitely didn't do a good job the way I should have. And their higher self is aware that they didn't handle things correctly. So yeah, let's get more cards for you. Their feelings for you are serendipity, orphans, and time for a nap reverse. So again, with the childlike emphasis, because we got orphaned again, and that one came out upright. And sleeping energy, time for a nap reverse. So it's almost like you wouldn't give them that nap. You wouldn't let them stay in their delusional state. I feel like you guys would say things or do things, or your energy was just enlivening, like you woke them up, like you would shake them out of their complacency, or be like, hello, like, no, you need to do this, or or like the conversations you would have would be passionate and you weren't going to back down and just do whatever for them, or I don't know, you held them to a higher standard or something. And I feel like their kind of higher self is coming through to thank you for that. Like I feel like the fact that you had high standards for them, they're kind of acknowledging like actually it's going to be better for my growth long term, and like the conversations you had and the things you said to them will stay with them and keep on their mind, and they will grow and get better as a result of it. But in terms of the relationship, it scared them off. Like it made them, you know, go into like hermit crab mode and like retreat into a shell and just like scuttle away, because they were like scared. They were like, oh my God, I can't step up to that. You know, that's way too much for me. But they are saying it was a huge blessing that they did have the serendipity to meet you. It was serendipitous and it was a blessing for them. So I think they're acknowledging that. And also with time for an app reverse, I think they're telling you that they do connect with you through your sleep. So you might have dreams of them or connect to them with while you're sleeping. So we also got further feelings for this third party, round and round, and TikTok reverse. And you know what? I didn't understand why we got TikTok when I was card pulling, but the sun is going down, so I was like, okay, let me just put the cards out, and I'm not going to clarify anymore because I didn't want to have like 50,000 cards. But with TikTok now, I'm getting it, because it's like I just think there's this aspect of time to this third party relationship where their thoughts and feelings about the situation now are not going to be their thoughts and feelings towards the situation in 30 years, in 10 years, in 5 years. Like I feel like they're doing what's right and easy for them now, but usually that's a really great way to make sure you're not happy with your decisions in the future. You know what I mean? Like what made you happy at 15 years old? Like I said, you know, that was my fave thing, was going to the mall with my friends, and we would just do crazy stuff. Like I'm not crazy stuff, but we would just like hang out and go shopping and meet up with people and get smoothies and walk around and get Haagen-Dazs. And like now I just wouldn't be interested in that. You know, I just have other things on my mind that I would rather spend my time doing. But like at the time, it was just like being young and free was like exciting to me. You know, just being able to go to the mall and like talk to boys and like, you know, get my hair done or whatever. It was like the most exciting thing. It was like such a thrill, you know. And so my point is like things that you get really jazzed about at a certain age are not going to be the things that you get jazzed about like down the road. And I just feel like with this person in this third party, like right now it works for them, but in the future they're probably going to be like, why did I pick this person? Because y'all would like a lot of people who may be married and seemingly happily, like later on they're like, wow, I just married this person for convenience, or because my parents expected it of me, or because it was just did it, and they don't even think these things through, and then later on they kind of have to reckon with that. And I feel like that's kind of the energy. They're doing what's easy for them now. Later on they're definitely going to have that, you know, rethought about it or reconsideration of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they contact you at that point and like hit you up and like, I really am getting that energy with this pile. And I feel like with round and round, sometimes like maybe they do get into discussions with this third party, but that I feel like almost like the third party might start stepping up and being like, you know what, like you need to be bringing more to the table. What the heck are you doing? Maybe you know, the same energy goes for both your person and the third party. This is what's so dangerous about unconscious relationships, is both parties get into it unconsciously, and then over time, both of them start waking up and both of them are like, what the heck am I doing in this? And I feel like the third party might start thinking like, you know, I don't know if I'm getting as much back as I'm getting in. I really do everything for this person and they don't really bring anything back. And I feel like they might have kind of circular discussions, like non-productive discussions, you know, because I don't think they have a productive dynamic where both parties are giving. It feels like there's one side that's giving and then the other side that's taking, and like you would never tolerate that. So that's why it couldn't work with you. And right now it's working with the third party, but I feel like later in the future there's going to be some discussions about like, you know, this is really not a really fair distribution of labor, and you need to be bringing more to the table. And like then the other person, probably this your person, not the third party, is going to be like, well, you never said that at the beginning. What do you mean? Now you're changing. And it's just not a good vibe to me. Like, so I feel like, yeah, like it's working now technically, but as soon as some of this shift starts happening, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a DM, a text, a call, because I feel like their feelings were still with you and they're gonna want to run back to you. So their message for you is sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. And their message for their third party is playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together and remember, love is the greatest healer. So again, with the childish energy, like honestly, it's just coming through so strong. Like I feel like their person just allows them to be playful and kind of do whatever they want. And I'm not getting like playful vibes in terms of like an exalted, beautiful relationship where both sides can kind of let loose and it's like beautiful and airy and, you know, young Six of Cups, beautiful energy. It just feels like kind of distorted Six of Cups of like overly childish, immature, not someone who's growing up into like their highest version of their self, but someone who's in a little bit of a stilted, ungrown up energy and just kind of going through the motions of adulthood, someone who hasn't matured and hasn't taken the steps to mature. And I feel like technically, I mean, like I said, technically it's working right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if at a certain point this third party is just sick of this dynamic. And with you, it was more of a sacred union. It was more that their heart was in it and it was like a divine soulmate type of vibe. But again, I feel like they ran away and got scared. And they did want to marry you with the Four of Wands coming in. They did have long-term intentions, but obviously, I don't know if that worked out, but they did have long-term intentions. Let me get some astro dice as well for you guys. So we got the node, we got the, wow, why am I not surprised? We got Cancer, and we got the 8th house. Okay, so I'm not surprised at all with Cancer because that is the mother of the zodiac. And I do feel like this is kind of a mothering energy coming from this third party. Like they take care of them, they look after them, they kind of look, you know, they take care of them like in the way a mom would to a child, you know, clean up after them, cook for them, or just let them be in, like, it doesn't even have to be a chore like that, but like when I say childlike energy, it could be literally, it could be someone who cooks a lot, cleans, but is just immature. Their tastes are immature, their mindset is immature. You know, they have a childlike reaction to things, maybe when they get mad and frustrated or upset with something, instead of being like, I'm really in a bad mood today, I need to like, oh, I need to chill, I'm just going to try to have a good mindset, I'm going to push harder on it. It's like they throw a little mini tantrum, you know, they're like, why is this happening to me, this is so unfair, I'm just so mad, which of course we all have that tendency sometimes to like feel that way, but that's what maturing is about, is like you kind of catch yourself and you talk to yourself and you're like, okay, let me calm down. I'm not gonna like go into a spiral, but I feel like this person is emotionally immature, and I do feel like a lot of them have emotionally immature habits. Maybe anything that takes them out of reality, I keep getting like video games or watching too much TV or reading too many books or fanfics or something like not fully based in reality and not paying attention to their life and choosing to live it actively the way they should. I know this is kind of an esoteric concept, but you guys would be surprised by how many people it affects nowadays. It's actually very common. I keep seeing Pleasure Island in my mind from like Pinocchio, and that's kind of like a world a lot of people live in today, because a lot of us in like at least America or first world countries, like life is so easy that you can just become very complacent and just very distracted with like, a new movie's coming out, awesome, oh wow, like my favorite song, and it's like what about like your life, your destiny, your purpose? It's harder to deal with something like your purpose, but you got to focus on it, and you can't get distracted with like the momentary pleasure of like, oh, I love these chips, they're so good. Of course it's okay to have chips once in a while, you know, not necessarily, well, I don't eat them because like seed oils and stuff like that, and yeah, but I mean, but my point is like, it's okay to like have fun once in a while or distract yourself once in a while, but it's not okay to live your life 100% in like distraction, like la la land where you're not paying attention, and that's what this person is doing. And that's where it just feels like cruising for a bruising to me, where they are going to end up in trouble with this. And this third party, I don't know why this third party is tolerating it. Anyone who would tolerate this is a low value person themselves, where they're not like head screwed on straight and they're not after their destiny, because no one in their destiny energy the way y'all are would be tolerating this. This is like clown behavior, to be honest. And I feel like you guys are on par for your destiny because you got the Empress. And I really feel like it's like this is why you intimidated this other person, and they went off for someone who's easier and who's maybe as distorted as they are. But it's a compliment that you were not doing that, and you got the node. And I feel like that's the thing, is like you guys are going after your destiny, because the nodes talk about destiny. You guys are aware of that. But the nodes are also a very spiritual card, or spiritual like astrological placement. And so is the 8th house, which is ruled by Pluto and relates to Scorpio. So that can talk about a very deep love connection and psychic connection. It's more deep love in terms of a very sexual one, to be honest, and a very intense one. Neptune love is kind of more airy and ethereal, but Pluto love is like possessive, all consuming, like I want to say desperate, craving. But you guys definitely have this spiritual component coming through really strong with your love connection, that I really feel like you guys do talk on the astral plane. We got a lot of sleep cards. I feel like you guys do hang out up there. I feel like you guys may have soulmate connections or something. And sometimes someone who's in this distorted energy of fear of not living up to their expectations and not handling their responsibilities. And I just noticed we got the 4 of Pentacles reversed, so I could definitely kind of confirm that. But like, it's like someone like that, you know, they could be running in fear from a soulmate relationship because they feel the depth of that. They feel the intensity of that. They feel the emotions and the pull and the sacred importance and holiness and weight of that. And it's like, it scares the hell out of them. You know what I mean? Because they're not ready for that. They're just someone who's like a trifling type person, used to dealing with trifling type things, used to dealing with like the biggest decision they make is like whether to go through the drive-through at Burger King or McDonald's, or whether to watch this show or that show on Netflix, or whether to, you know, it's like clown behavior. Like, honestly, nothing wrong with, you know, someone watching something on Netflix once in a while, or, you know, wanting to order takeout once in a while. But it's like, if that's your whole life, is taking the easy way out and being like, whatever, this just works for me, this is fine, then that is clown behavior. Because we only get one life. And if you want to go through it like head in the clouds, just distorted and just like doing what's easy, that's a horrible life. Like, you did not come onto this planet to just sit at home and watch TV 24/7 and order easy food that you don't have to cook because you're too lazy to make yourself a salad once in a while. And you would feel so much better if you did make a salad. You know what I mean? So anyway, not to go on a rant with this, but this is what the feelings that are coming up for me when I see this type of energy is I just want to shake the person and be like, grow up, step into your destiny, and learn from this pile, because you guys have got it way more figured out. So it's starting to really get dark now, so I am going to end the reading, you guys, but I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and thanks for watching my reading. And also let me know what's going on in the comments here, because I'm very like interested, and I'm very, I don't want to say confused, but I'm wondering what this energy is coming in so strong. So let me know what's going on with this, and also make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up, turn on those notifications, make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to see more of my readings, head over to my Patreon. Link is in my bio for that, to see more of those. I'm sending you guys lots of love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. So see you then. Bye.